Hello everybody, welcome back for StarCraft 2 action. We have another 2v2 here. It is MindelVK and bratok going up against SKillous and Elazer of the Liquid Boys here on Emerald City. I thought we'd dig a little deeper into the uThermal 2v2 Circuit March edition. And this is round 2 of that tournament. And we've never seen bratok and Mindel play 2v2 before. So I thought it was worth checking out what they bring to the table. And now we already see something we don't see every day, in 2v2 at least. And that's a full wall at the bottom of Emerald City. So fully walling in the natural area, using those rocks to their advantage. And let's see if this is going to be a double gate or if it's going to be a gate cyber. We'll surely find out soon. Elazer going for that gas pool instead of a delayed gas like we saw him do in the February edition. And the Protoss is, of course, going out for a little scouting action. And SKillous gets his gate nexus. And Mindel does the same. bratok, the only Terran in this game. They're team yellow-ish, I guess. That's kind of cool. Usually it's red versus blue. Now we have team yellow versus team blue-purple-ish. Reaper coming out here, and we see expansions for both players on either side. It's going to be interesting to see what the Protoss players will do once their cyber cores finish. What type of tech are they thinking about? We've already seen that the Zerg is most likely to be starting speed. And he does have 100 gas, pulling out drones as well, and starts Zergling speed right up. So he's going to have some early map control. We do see Stargate coming out from Mindel. And we see a Twilight Console coming out for SKillous. So already a little bit of a difference. Ooh, bratok finds the drone here from Elazer. And Elazer does not get his third base down, and now the Reaper goes on through. Wants to catch this drone coming out. The drone does regen a little bit in the extractor. There it is. And it does become a third base now. The Adept of SKillous helping out just a little bit. Reaper gets into the mineral line. The probes come off the line. A little bit of fisticuffs action. Oh, this probe actually came back to the mineral line and did some scary maneuver there. But the Reaper does end up going down. Nice Reaper wall here by SKillous, starting up Blink, as we are used to seeing from him. And on the other side, we see Mindel start up the Oracle, third base for bratok as well. And a tech lab on the factory, so maybe we're going to see some very fast tanks here. And a reactored barracks just making Marines here. Full wall for the yellow team. Couple Zerglings are going to run around the map, scout out what they can find, but they won't be able to find a whole lot. Maybe they can find this Adept kill. But for now, they just find a full wall. Let's see, yep, they find a full wall. They did see a little bit with the probe earlier, of course. Oh, this Oracle already picked up the one kill, picks up a second, picks up a third, and now the Shield Baronetry does finish up. 2 Stalkers here in the main, third one warping in, and we do see nice 4 kills on that Oracle. Not too shabby, but also not the best. We do see double Phoenix production here coming out from Mindel. So he's just doing the max packs, basically. Or the standard 2v2 Protoss nowadays. Going Oracle into the Phoenix. And let's see how Elazer SKillous are going to deal with this. Are we going to see Elazer rush up to 3 base saturation, get a Spire, and just max out on those Corruptors? Or are they going to do an attack here? Are they going to get a Roach Warren, get some Ravager, some Zerglings? And we do see a quick 4th base for Elazer. Could also go into like Mass Hydra. Maybe Infestors or Vipers could also help deal with the air threat. Wow. Bunch more Phoenix coming out here. feel like as soon as you see a second Phoenix, you're like, okay, this guy's going Phoenix. So that could be an interesting fake out, right? I think we saw that in one of the previous series, one of my previous 2 videos, where the Protoss went for, I think, 4 Phoenix and then went back into Blink. I don't remember if it worked out, but it is a very cute move. Oh yeah, there it goes. Spire is coming down here for Elazer. He's getting a 4th base as well. What's bratok doing on the Terran pieces? We see one factory and a bunch of barracks behind it. Now getting the bio upgrades, so he's just going bio tank. And oh, look at that. He's playing the map all right. He knows that taking this area is so very important on this map. Because otherwise, if your opponents take this area, they can attack this base and just kind of move back and forth, and you have to move back and forth in a very, very awkward way. Elazer getting a 5th base as well. Skills just patiently sticking on lesser amount of bases. Where are those Phoenix? They're all just here, just chilling. I feel like they should be across the map, but they're not. What is Mindel doing, dude? What the hell? 13 Phoenix? Like, maybe he thinks that SKillous is going Phoenix, and he's kind of like... He doesn't want to move across the map, because then your rally is shorter than your opponent's rally? But, like, if he was on top of this gold base right now, all of those drones would be dead. Don't you dare lift Zerglings. I don't know, I guess they just want to have a very specific attack with a lot of Phoenix. But... I don't see it. Oh, nice. The Phoenix find the Stalkers. Oh, but the recall actually goes through even if you lift them up. Learn something every day. The gold base gets found. Oh, they didn't know about that. Oh, and look at that. The Corruptors are here. Corruptors are pretty good at dealing with the Phoenix, and Marines don't take them down as fast. bratok moving his siege tanks forward very fast. And Elazer does have to retreat from that 3rd base. 4th base still mining, though. Now let's look at what SKillous has here. He has some Zealots. He has some Archons coming up as well. And a Colossus as well. That's not going to do too much unless it gets to shoot the Marines when they are clubbed. Oh, nice click by the Phoenix on top of the Colossi. Now, oh my god, these siege tanks are doing work. The Marines are running in, but the Corruptors are raining in the skies. The Marines completely overloaded. The Marines have to both buffer for the ground and deal with the Corruptors at the same time, and as soon as those split, the Marines are, well, they can only do one of the jobs. They either stand in front of the siege tanks, or they follow the Corruptors and click the Corruptors. Oh my god, look at these menacing Corruptor boys. Holy moly, 21 Corruptors get +1 armor as well. And what are you going to do, Mindel? He's just making more Phoenix, now only just starting the fleet bake, and he does have +1 air to try and help him with that. But these Corruptors are completely shutting down the opposing Protoss player, and with that also are going to kill the medevacs, leaving just tanks and bio to deal with for SKillous here. And SKillous has an army that can deal with bio, alright. He has 2 Colossi and 2 Archons. Lots of Zealots can be warped in as well, as he does have the charge upgrade, has +2 now. 2nd Forge coming in. And the Phoenix do find 1 free Corruptor there. They find a couple Queens. They find some drones. That's a very nice flyby here from Mindel, but now he has to not get cut off by these Corruptors. Oh, Corruptors aren't quite as fast as the Phoenix, but if you can take a little shortcut, you can definitely get something done. The Marines desperately want to get on top of these Corruptors, and look at these Corruptors. They're just clicking the medevacs, dude. You can just hold position, micro them nicely, neatly, cleanly. And Elazer just surgically taking apart this army from the yellow team. Like, these Marines don't seem to do any damage to the Corruptors right now. These Marines are only 1-1. 10 minutes into the game. Anion Pulse Crystals is going to finish, so we're going to see some Protoss or a Phoenix range upgrade finish here. SKillous giving all of the vision with this Observer. Look at them come into range. The supply heavily favoring the blue team as well. This Marine pack really needs to stay alive and do the damage. The siege tanks now just siege, and the Corruptors protect the Colossi in the back. These Phoenix want to get on top of the Colossus, but Mindel doesn't quite dare to commit just yet. Now, finally, he's going to click them. Nice micro by SKillous, saving that Colossus for a little bit by picking it up with the War Prism, and 2 Colossi still alive. And these Colossi are just able to do immense damage to the bio. Only 5 kills to their names. So maybe it's just the fear factor. Oh, and these siege tanks in the back still standing tall. The yellow team seems to be holding on here, but their supply is looking worse. As especially SKillous is just exploding into the supply cut. Oh, these Phoenix finally find an angle onto the Colossi, but they're too afraid of the Archons, which do splash damage to air units, and that is very scary. Phoenix do outrange the Corruptors now, but they don't do a lot of damage to these high armored air units. Dude, Corruptors look so menacingly scary in 2v2. In 1v1, you're like, okay, you don't have a ground army. Cheers, bro. You're dead. But in 2v2, your teammate has the ground army, so you can just make Corruptors. This guy literally has 27 Corruptors and some Zerglings, making 16 drones right now. Oh my. Elazer going up to 90 plus drones. And just pumping out the Corruptors, not allowing the Sky Toss bullshit to do anything. We see some Ghost EMPs go down on the blue army, but is it enough? Oh, the supply advantage is quite big for the blue team, and they are overrunning that entire Terran force, and the only thing that Mindel has been adding to this army is just Phoenix, 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 and they have been hard countered since minute 8 or something close to it. And that means that SKillous and Elazer take game number 1 in this best of 3, round 2 of the tournament. This is quite a nice answer, honestly, to the mass Phoenix style. It's just going mass Corruptor. Now, I think if Mindel went across the map a little earlier, maybe ask bratok to scan the Protoss once, just to know if they are going Phoenix, yes or no. And then you go across the map with your Phoenix. You have to get some probe kills. Oh, he's actually getting kills with this Oracle. Holy moly, look at that. This Oracle's 22 kills. Let's hope that's not just all Zerglings. But you have to go across the map, get some of these drones, get a Queen, get some Overlords, limit their vision, kind of threaten the probes as well, you know. Because now he just stayed at home with his Phoenix, and you see it on the minimap. Elazer was like, I'll take a 4th, I'll take a 5th, ah heck, I'll take a 6th. And SKillous was kind of respecting it, not taking this 4th right away, but if you look at the map, they really out-expanded their opponents because they just kind of gave up all map control. As soon as the Corruptors were out, it was rough out there. The Phoenix can't really fight against these Corruptors. I think if you get the range earlier, and you get the attack upgrades earlier, but I think then you need to be fed by your teammate that also has the burden of making all of the ground army. So I don't know if that's possible. Maybe Phoenix is just not good into a mass Corruptor style. If you can't deal with it earlier, like do some damage to the Zerg player, or really force a ground switch. Like if you go 2 Stargate Phoenix but also develop gateway tech, and you see that they make the Corruptors, can you then switch into ground and counter push? Maybe. I don't know, we'll have to see how the 2v2 meta develops, and how this series meta develops in game number 2. Yeah, and for game number 2, we load up into Crimson Research Station. SKillous and Elazer going up 1-0 against bratok and Mindel on Emerald City. And they are going for a low ground wall. Again, kind of interesting to see a team doing this. I haven't seen most teams attempt walls at their natural, if at all. Because, for example, Clem Trigger, Spirit Max Packs, they all go for a high ground wall. And then they disregard kind of the low ground wall possibility. Crimson Research Station, of course, shared main base, shared natural, pocket third, And then you do get a shared, like, third, fourth base, and like an impossible gold base, and then you go out onto the map. This base, for example, pretty hard to hold because they can siege on top. But if you do hold it, like, a little bit more forward, you get a base in the back. So, taking space does get rewarded later on this map, but the first 2-3 bases seem pretty easy. Although this pocket base has been a little weird. Seems to be that killing these rocks in 2v2 just isn't that hard, because you have twice the army, and these rocks don't seem twice as tough as they would be in 1v1. I could be wrong, they could have double armor, but I can't check that in this interface. I can't see the armor values. Double expand coming out from Mindel and bratok once again. And Cybercore going down. Now, from SKillous, I'm fully expecting to see Blink once again. But what is Mindel going to do? How is he going to respond to what happened game number 1? Or at least what I think is game number 1. I don't have full intel if this is game number 1 or 2. Just from the information that I had, this is the most likely. And of course, if you're enjoying the StarCraft 2v2 action, be sure to subscribe to the channel. SKillous has the Stalker, kills the probe, starts his Twilight Console, and on the other side, brap, we see the Stargate. So Mindel not dissuaded. It's gonna get some Phoenixes, or could still be that 1 or 2 Oracles into then Blink. I think that would be pretty, well, strong. Although I guess if you make an Oracle, you start making the second one before knowing if your opponent is going into Phoenix. So then if you make a second Oracle into a guy that's making Phoenix, you just make 2 expensive units that are hard countered by your opponent. So I guess 2 Oracle is kind of a bad build unless you're playing against Zerg Terran. Oh, this Marine is not gonna get a hold of that Overlord, but the Overlord does get a sight on that quick third base from bratok. Okay, he's getting that quick siege tank once again with the Marines, so they stick to their guns, quite literally. Let's see, we do have speed on a line here for Elazer, and he's gonna start nibbling on the rocks right away. Oh, some high tempo plays coming out here. And we see the ping on the gas here. Not sure. Oh, Elazer pinged it. Right, so they know this is gonna be Phoenix. Second Stargate is underway, and the first Phoenix is already being constructed. The Oracle flies in, finds the third base probe, actually takes it out. That's quite nice. The Stalker is in position, but 2 are in the natural, 1 in the main. So this Oracle is gonna get a couple kills. Gets 4 kills. Oh, and now also gets out. Could have even gotten a couple at the natural, but it's a little risky to go in. If there's 1 Stalker there, you take a bunch more hull damage. You might even lose the Oracle. So it's Blink, and for the Zerg, we see a lair, we see extra gases. What is Elazer up to? Is Elazer just gonna do the same thing? That would be a little crunch. But we're gonna see bratok going for extra barracks. And ooh, the Zerglings were actually pushed away by this 1 Marine, man with gun, and a big rock. That's all he needs. Now the Phoenix still staying at home once again. I'm a little confused by this. Why isn't he moving across the map? Maybe he's fully confident Protoss should also be getting Phoenix on the other side of the map. It's just like, there's no way our opponents aren't getting Phoenix. Okay, the Phoenix find a Zergling. I'm not impressed by these Phoenix, or the lack of the activity with these Phoenix. They are playing very scared. And on the other side, we see the Spire once again, Elazer ready to fire up some more Corruptors. +1 does start up for Mindel now. He's gonna get a fleet beacon a little earlier. He's getting a 3rd Stargate. He's getting a Forge. And he has a bunch of probes at his natural. I feel like he could have taken this third earlier, even. If we're gonna stay at home with these Phoenix guaranteed. And that's a lot of stalkers from SKillous here. 15 stalkers gonna start marching across the map, forcing his opponent to deal with that. Bunch of cannons coming down. Tanks are positioned as well. One tank, one marine, and a big, big rock. That's all they need. Elazer getting a fourth, getting a fifth. And SKillous just sitting nice and pretty on his 3 bases for now. Might get that gold base in the near future. SKillous moving across the map here. Going to be putting a little bit of pressure on his opponents. Dude, I don't know what's up with these Phoenixes, keeping them at home. Like, one Phoenix would have done this, or 2 Phoenix would have done the same as these Phoenix. Because they have killed a Zergling, and that is it. Like, 2 Phoenix and some sentries would have done the same, because then you hallucinate the Phoenix, and then you fly over to that one Zergling, and then you kill it, and then they're like, oh, there's a lot of Phoenix. And actually, you're having a lot of gateway fun. How many Phoenix do we have? 14 Phoenix. Fleet Beacon is coming up. +1 is coming up, and Shields is coming up, so now he's getting range a lot earlier. But we also do see the Corruptors coming out. We do see the +1 armor coming out, and +1 melee for the Zerglings. Zergling Corruptor. Proving to be a pretty strong composition against Terran Protoss. SKillous just has a bunch of stalkers now going to be moving into that Robo support bay, and also the Templar archives. So might even see some Storm, but most importantly for the Archons, like we saw in game number 1, those Archons deal very well with the Phoenix as well, give a lot of tank ability, deal decently with Marines. Archons love taking tank shots if somebody has to take them. Mindel getting a 4th base. Oh, he's now going into carriers at least. Okay. Well, I like that a bit more with a mothership as well. If you just throw down cannons and turrets and everything, you can just turtle it up, I suppose. Because your opponents are making somewhat of an inferior army. But, I don't know, Terran... I like Bios standing underneath your carrier ball, but do they really deal with Corruptors well? I kind of feel like you need like Thors, or Widowmines, or Liberators. Oh, look at these Corruptors. They are searching for a target, and they start pissing all over Bratok's command center. One is forced to lift off. It flies away. And it is going to die. No, it doesn't die. Oh my god, he saves it, but the one on the left does die. The 3rd base has been properly pissed on. And it did die. Now, there is a new CC for Bratok, so nothing much has changed. A big Zergling run by here. The siege tanks re-siege, and a bunch of them do, or one of them gets taken down. Stasis Ward does its job. And a low amount of carriers so far. The Corruptors go in, click on the mothership, Time Warp gets put down willy-nilly, and now these carriers are in no man's land. The Marines, again, completely overloaded. They have to stop this army, but they also have to stop the Corruptor ball. Nice move by Mindel. Clicks on the Colossi. I feel like he just needs to click on it and accept the losses. If the Colossus are dead, then at least the Marines can stand tall a little better. They can stand the abuse that is coming out of their opponent's army. And oh my god, it looks like the blue team is just overwhelming the Terran forces once again, and the air army just can't stand against all of these Corruptors. And Corruptors plus Colossi apparently are just very strong, and the yellow team once again is forced to GG. Little bit of a Wings of Liberty-esque game where there didn't seem to be happening a whole lot, and then at some point they decided to just clash. And SKillous and Elazer did come out on top. Dude, the Corruptors pulling everything out of position by taking a literal piss on the command centers of bratok, and then chaos ensued. SKillous moved in, Ling's at the 4th, and the air army just got taken apart whilst the Marines were just running around willy-nilly, trying to do their best, but 31 Corruptors with almost +2. Apparently very, very good against Phoenix and any other semblance of air army that you can create. And we did see the Mass Void Ray transition from max packs instead, spoilers, that had a different result, or at least it looked different than going Mass Phoenix, but I think the Sky Toss will have to be rethought in the next edition of the 2v2 tournament. I hope to see a big adaptation swing in the April edition. Now, this is all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed a little bit more StarCraft 2v2 action. If you want to see more, be sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.